Hi everyone. Today we look at the Bach Sinfonias, and this is number 15 we're looking at. He wrote 15 symphonias altogether and also 15 two-part inventions. And then went on to, of course, he wrote Preludes and Fugues, 48 of them. So these symphonias and two-part inventions are very important for musical learning, especially to accomplish on piano playing. It teaches you about part playing, contrapuntal style. So you have, then you got the kind of thing. So right hand does it with the main theme, and left hand comes in the main theme. So one hand right, the other hand, and then different parts as well. So that's called contrapuntal playing, and that was very popular during Baroque style, during Baroque period, and Bach wrote a lot of the pieces in the Baroque period with this kind of structure. Therefore, we are looking at Sinfonia. The Sinfonia is different from the two-part. Two-part has two parts only, as we can say. It's called inventions, and then Sinfonias have three parts. So you have three instrumental situation, or three instruments playing three same theme but in different keys as we progress along. So this is your main theme here. We're in B minor. So we have this. Right, and then you have this in your left hand. So we have that in bars 1 to 7, and that's where you finish the first introduction of those two themes. And then you progress along, and then you have that part coming in as well. But at the same time, we have actually at here, at bar 5, you already have another part. So that is sort of like a second theme against the left hand. So sort of together. So therefore your thematic materials are from these demi-semi-quavers, and they sometimes come in on its own, sometimes come in and interspersed with the other part, and sometimes synchronized together or coordinated together. Now, because it's contrapuntal, so there's no accompaniment and melody. So your left hand is quite important as well. So therefore, in your way of playing this, you need to shape them and articulate them. So how do you articulate? Usually you can do slur, staccato. So two note slur and staccato. So that's how it works. And now these things, you can group them in threes, or you can group them in all legato. Now I will group this as non-legato. So you can have a brighter kind of harpsichord style, because you're imitating the instrument in those days. The keyboard instrument was not a piano, it was a harpsichord. So harpsichord was used to play. And therefore, harpsichord is a non-legato approach kind of playing. So we have. So keep them very light. And then count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 7, 8, 9. Then left hand picks over. And then we have together. Left hand, you have this slur and staccato, and then right hand is slur. Right, at bar 4 and then bar 5. Now together. So we have this. Or non-legato. So you have to practice it with the careful fingering. Separately, slowly. Once you achieve that properly, fluently, then you put together. Now you can do dotted rhythm as well. Now you can do double the dot opposite direction. Then you have together. Now we have changes now. We just change key. Alright, so from D major we go A major now. And then we change back. So as you can see here, we have this. And sometimes together, sometimes conversational. So the dialogue situation, the together situation, you have to really practice it very slowly until it's very secure, bar 11 to bar 13, and then you can put together. So we can play them non-legato and keep that consistent all the time. And then we arrive at bar 15, bar 14, that's where you do the slur and staccato again. On the left hand is the legato. And then here we go again. Right hand. And then so we have this traveling into E minor. So we arrive in A major again at bar 16, 17, and then we go into E minor at bar 20. So again, you have to practice them in 4 bars, sometimes 2 bars, and sometimes just the pattern itself, drill at separate hands, and then drill on dotted rhythm so that it's even all the time. The speed I'm playing now is the performance speed, but you should be practicing very slowly. Non-legato touch. Left hand slur, right hand legato. So you can add in your ornaments yourself as well, because in the long notes in those days they do add in ornaments to decorate the melodic lines. So that's how you should be practicing this, so separate and then together. As you move into different keys, you can have different sound. For example, at bar 11, I'll make it strong. And then I drop again because we arrive in D major now. Like back to home, you know. And then it gets louder again at bar 16 because you're traveling again into this. Bar 19, which is strong, and arriving in A major. And then E minor soft. Remember, the right hand and the left hand disperse the notes. You got to look very carefully. For example, at bar 24, the right hand should be playing the middle ground notes. So here at bar 29, 28 is where you get complicated. The hands cross and then switch over. And then you got dominant 7 into the B minor. So we have this B minor and then D major, you know, at bar 14. Now we're going back to B minor now. Of B minor, and then settle back in B minor. And then right. So we finish in B minor. Okay, so let's recap this again. We're in B minor when we first start. And then we move treble 5, 1, and bar 4, 5, 1 again. And then we move. So the A major coming in at bar 8. And then move away. We're going D major. Arriving at bar 14. And then 15 we go on again. And then traveling back A major, and bar 17, Bach 20 in E minor. And we move to D major again. And then traveling away from bar 24 onwards, we are arriving in B minor in your tonic key at bar 26. And then 27, 28, 29, and we stay all the way to the end with a lot of dominant suspension, prolonging your harmonies, and a huge climax is at bar 26 to 28. So again, you know, Bach's pieces are very well done. The climax always come at the 4th, 5th point or the 3/4 point. And therefore you have this big, huge dominant 7 at bar 32 as well. So 27 to 32, that's all your huge climax, and then we travel back into your B minor tonality with going into the chord 1 after the progression of this, right, diminished 7, and dominant 7, and 5/1 eventually. So very beautiful work. One of the more difficult ones of the symphonies. And you have to understand that there's this tia-da-ta figure, and this is the tega-tega-tega-tega-tega demi-semi-quavers figures. So all these places you have to really highlight them and present these figures carefully and clearly. Then these things will come across very well to your listener. So in 3 parts. Then the other thing you need to think is of the key changes. That's where you can have different harmonies as well. The dominant harmonies are stronger. The tonic harmonies, when you go into a new key, they are much softer. So you can contrast that. And then you got to think of how you can shape the articulation with slurs and non-legato. And this is like everybody's different. You have to have a consistent articulation, but you've got to choose what articulation you want to use. So therefore there's some subjectivity over there. As long as you don't play everything in one same articulation, that's fine. Then the other issue you need to think about is there's no extreme stretch of dynamic levels, no long crescendo, long decrescendo, no. Right? We keep relatively terrace dynamics, so loud, soft, loud, soft. It's a bit of shaping within each harmony, yes, but just loud, soft in general. As you finish off each cadence point, you can pull back if you want, just a slight holding back to show the phrase ends. So all these little details you can incorporate when you practice this, and then you'll come across very well to your listener. And again, I'll reiterate again, you have to do slow practice, a lot of separate hands practice, in 2 bars, in 4 bars, until you secure everything. You have a drill dotted rhythm until it's all even in rhythm, and before you put hands together and lift up the tempo. How fast the tempo is up to you. It's in 9/16, so therefore you have a 1 and about 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. So 9 semi-quavers pulses in each bar, but 3 main beats. We count them 1 and about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So feel that, and then you won't be too slow. Neither will you be too fast. If you're too slow, you'll drag along and sound like 3, 4. If you're too fast, you can't even play the demi-semi-quavers in time, coherent to the whole tempo choice. So beware of that. Alright, so I hope you enjoy the Sinfonia number 15, and also you should play more symphonias by Bach. They're all great works to learn and to keep you updated with the style of contrapunto and the Baroque style, and also to understand the harpsichord in those days, how it was sounded. And plus, it's a very good practice for sight reading. So all the symphonies and 2-bar dimensions are great for sight reading practices. Alright, so enjoy Sinfonia number 15 in B minor by J.S. Bach.